Good afternoon, guys, and happy Sunday to all of your sunshiny faces. I have got my Jewel haul to share with you guys for today. It wasn't a ton of stuff. They didn't have like a ton of deals really going on, and I think there were still like two things we didn't end up getting. They didn't have the pickles, the same deal that I was going to do last week. It was like deli type pickles, but we looked everywhere. The coupon, like when you clip it, it shows up in like the produce section. So I was thinking like the produce deli area, you know, like kind of looked around there, couldn't find it anywhere. Looked where they have like the shelf stable pickles, couldn't find them there. Looked where they have like the other type deli pickles, like the Clausen type pickles, in like where, you know, like the deli meats and things like that are, couldn't find them there. But we also looked in the deli, which is like near the produce section, because I thought, oh, maybe that's where it'd be since that's where the coupon was. Couldn't find them there. So I don't know, we looked last week too a little bit and we couldn't find them. So like I said, I don't know if the store just doesn't carry that brand or whatever. They also had this other thing, it looks like it's a new product. It's called like Pringles Mingles, and I think it's like a bag of Pringles instead of like, you know, like the jars of Pringles. They might have been slightly different type of like potato chip, but I think they were. So anyways, they didn't have those either, at least we couldn't find them. And when I did check the app, it said like ask associate. So those were 99 cents, a limited 2 with a just for you coupon, and the pickles were $1.99 limit 2 with a just for you coupon. But again, too, couldn't find those at our store. So everything else we got, and it looks like all the coupons came up and everything rang up at the right price. So I'll share that with you guys now. So these items here on the table were what we ended up picking up from Jewel. It was $55.89. 96 cents of that was tax. So we were just under $55 for like regular price for these items. And we saved $94.71, which I think was pretty good. We got a large amount of produce. That was a lot of what we got. And then they did have some like cereal deals. And then they also had, this coupon was actually available last week, but if you guys saw my haul from last week, we spent like over $100. There was a ton of stuff going on at Jewel. So when I saw that that coupon was good up until I think this week or next week, I was like, I'll just pick them up. Hopefully next week they won't have as much stuff going on, because like I couldn't justify spending like another $8 on top of the 100 and something we spent last week. So again, there was a lot of stuff going on and not as much this week. So the deal with those though, the Pillsbury cake mixes, those were 99 cents, a limit of 4. They also had a separate coupon for the brownie mixes, which were 99 cents, a limit of 4. I think we're almost out of brownie mix. If we do, we have maybe one box. And I think cake mix wise, I don't think we have any yellow or chocolate, and I think I used our last lemon cake. We might have like 1 or 2 other, like a carrot cake maybe or something like that, but we really don't have a lot of those. And we normally keep those on hand, just like we'll do brownies as a dessert like one day during the week or whatever, and cake maybe, you know, again too, sometimes we might do it like if it falls on somebody's birthday or whatever, you know, like, and we're not like celebrating like their birthday on like their actual birthday. So sometimes then we'll do just like homemade cake, and then we might get a cake like on the day we actually are celebrating or whatever. So anyways, a lot of times though we just keep those in the pantry, like to have like a few in there, but I think we're almost completely out because we haven't gotten a deal recently. So that was a pretty good deal, picking those up at just 99 cents. They also had the General Mills cereals were $2.99 for the family size, which isn't too bad for like the larger family size boxes. They were $2.99 when you bought 2 with the Just For You coupon. So you picked up 2 of those. They also had the corn and rice Chex, like the Chex cereals were $1.99. And because those are such a popular kind of like holiday cereal, we picked up some of those. And we also use rice Chex a lot of times for like trail mix and stuff. So that was a really good deal. They also had 2, if you buy 3, you get a free Chex Party Mix holiday tin. So since we bought 3 all in one transaction here, we'll actually get that for free. So that's another nice bonus. But they were $1.99. I believe you had to buy 3, or they were just a limit of 3 with the Just For You coupon. So we picked up 3 of those. They also had these lunch makers, which were $5 for 5 with the Just For You coupon, limit 5. They also had something that's pretty interesting that we haven't really ever tried, are these hot and cold like salad noodle meal kit type things. Just like that's kind of cool to do as like a side dish to go with like a dinner or something like that, but you can either serve them hot or cold. So I was like, that's pretty cool. And we don't normally get a lot of those like salad kit type things and stuff like that. So again, I thought that was interesting. They were $1.99, limit 3 with the Just For You coupon. So I picked up all of the different 3 varieties that they had. So again, we'll try that out. They also had the Earthbound Farms organic salad mixes. They were $1.99. I think they were a limit of 5. I just picked up one because I normally get a spring mix, or I'll get something similar at Aldi, which are cheaper, I think, than Aldi's price. So I went ahead and picked those up. Blueberries were $1.99 limit 2 with the Just For You coupon. Blackberries were 99¢ limit 2 with the Just For You coupon. Strawberries 99¢ also limit 2 with the Just For You coupon. The cantaloupe was 99¢. I think they were a limit of 3 with the Just For You coupon. We picked up just one of those. They also had the avocados, which were 69¢ each. We picked up 5, which was the limit. And then they also had Granny Smith apples, which were on sale for 99¢ a pound. They had a lot of their apples that were on sale for that price. I think it was a limit of 3 pounds. We got a little under 2 pounds, so it was $1.74 for the 4 we picked up. They also had the mini cucumbers, which were 99¢, and they were a limit of 2 trays with the Just For You coupon, so we picked up 2 of those. And then lastly, they also had the bread, the brownberry bread, which was on sale for $2.99. Sometimes we get these for $2.49 or like $2.50 or whatever, but you have to buy 2 with the Just For You coupon to get them at that price. It's still not that bad of a deal, also considering they retail at $5.29. So getting them for that price, like I said, is a pretty good deal. And it's also going to, I think, around the same price or cheaper than a lot of the similar type stuff that we can get like bargain brand at Aldi. But we get name brand for that price. It's pretty good. So again, that was all they had going on. Like I said, it was really just about $55 for everything, which again, I thought wasn't too bad, especially considering all of the produce stuff we picked up. And again, to be able to have these salads that we can kind of do as like a side dish to go with dinners and stuff like that for this week. I don't know that I'm doing anything really that would match it maybe too well this week, but again, they will, you know, we'll do that as like a side dish for our salads for the week, and I think that that'll work out pretty well. So anyways, I thought I'd just share with you guys those deals that were going on at Jewel. Like I said, not too much that was going on, especially compared to last week, but they did have some good deals, and we were starting to see now that Halloween's over, some of those more like Christmassy type things. Like I said, a lot of times we get a lot of the deals on the Chex cereal and also to some of the baking stuff. So even though like brownies aren't normally traditional like Christmas, you know, type dessert, a lot of times we will see those deals on like different baking things like that anyway. So that's why we ended up getting that deal more than likely kind of around this time. Sometimes we also get it like close to like the summer, like 4th of July sales sometimes too. But again, I haven't gotten a deal in a while, and we haven't really had any, like we're not stocked up very much in them right now. So it's a good deal to go ahead and, like I said, kind of just stock back up in those. And again, we'll use them over, you know, probably a good period of time. Like a lot of them I think don't expire until like 2026. So we got some time to use those if we need to. But anyways, thought I'd just share with you guys what was going on. I am going to go and get this stuff put away and then watch some of the football games for today. Well guys, I'm going to take a shower and get to bed. I don't know if you guys can tell, but my bed is actually moved now. It is against this wall. So like, because of the way my desk is set up currently, the L is like here, and I think I shared with you guys that yesterday. And so like I had no space to like walk through. So because the bed was like this way instead of like that way like it is now, there was like barely a foot worth of space for me to get through. And again, it's not all staying like this, but just for, again, temporary, like it might be again a few weeks. It could be literally like a week, it could be a few weeks. Don't know how long this whole setup is going to be. So the other thing I was sharing with you guys was that I was like, I don't know if I want to have my bed in the middle of the room or if I want to have it against this wall in this corner. So it's kind of good for me to figure that out a little bit. I kind of thought that I was going to have more space having it there, but it doesn't really feel like it that much. So I'm not entirely sure if I am going to stay with that setup this way or not. But like I said, it's good to kind of test this out and figure it out a little bit. But me and Jack ended up moving that. And then we also got all of my desk stuff kind of set up. Because again, just for however long that's going to be. Like just kind of computer type stuff. But like I was saying, I'm going to test this out, this setup out, and see if I like it. And if I like having the bed there more, or if I feel like that's not really going to work, or, you know, again, whatever. So again, I'm feeling it out. But as of right now, I again, too, thought that I was going to have more space. It kind of feels like I don't have as much space, but also too, the desk is here, and the desk is not, this desk is not staying. So it might also feel like the space is different than how it actually is going to be. Again, I might have to kind of just, again, feel it out. That's the good thing about being in here right now before we're completely done with this room, is that I can kind of figure out exactly if I like this space, if I don't, you know, whatever. So anyways, I am going to, like I said, take a shower and get to bed, but I will have a Tony's haul for you guys tomorrow. Caputo's doesn't really have anything going on, and then we'll probably go to Meijer later in the week. The sad thing is, like, we could go on Friday if we wanted to, because there's no football game on Friday. So now that the season's over, and like, it just, again, I was telling my dad, I was like, I feel like it's like bittersweet kind of, you know, like I'm happy that we can get more things done now because football isn't so consuming, but at the same time I'm sad that the season's over, and like, yeah, there's always next year, but like things might be different because of that as well, you know. And like, not all the kids, a lot of the kids, you know, not a ton of them, but you know, there were a good portion of seniors too, so like they won't be back next year, you know. But anyways, like I said, I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.